apart from Python and SQL. Then comes the next round where you will be spoken about different algorithms, how to address the problem. So that is your second round. Okay, and the third round would be it depends. Okay, in some cases that third round um, can be kind of um, the round where the VPs or the director of that particular department comes and asks questions. Okay, like they also do evaluate, while um, it is depending on the level that you are interviewing for. If you are interviewing for a senior level, then generally VP doesn't come. But if you are interviewing for a lead level, then director and VP comes and then take your final round. Okay, and that is more like how well you are in terms of your management skills, in terms of your ideology, thought process that the organization has to adopt, or um, whether you are culturally fit or not, have any biasness or not. Those are the things that uh, people do basically check. Okay. But that those are easy piece, like nothing to discuss about it. You can simply, most of the people say good stuffs over there, so nobody bothers about that. What is more important is um, how well you are explaining those technical aspects. So that is more important. Okay. So now coming to that, um, so there could be two ways. One is there is an open interview on Python, or it could be like that, that it is not an open interview of Python, but maybe you are asked to attend some hacker rank or those kind of competitive challenging questions. So it depends, okay, that whether you are it's completely on the org. If it is an hacker rank and those kind of, then there is nothing, you just simply straightforward solve it. But let's say if somebody is coming online and asking you a question on which you have to answer, or let's say somebody taking a live questions on this live questions on Python and all. So in those cases, what you can do is take that problem. Maybe immediately you cannot solve. So whatever you are thinking, try to explain it. Okay. So let's say somebody gave you to figure out even number. I'm just taking the easy one to get you. Okay. Even number. Now, how do you solve that? Let's say you are very shaky in solving this. So in such cases, what you will do is um, whatever you are thinking, first take 5 minutes time. You can simply ask, give me 2 minutes to 3 minutes to think on the approach. Okay, that is the best way, because if you blindly, even if you don't have answer properly, and if you start blindly explaining, I will do that, I will do this, then in that case, you might make some mistake, and that can be accountable as well, right? So we don't want to do that, and hence we are trying to focus on whether take a problem statement, and in our problem statement, we basically take 5 minutes, and in that 5 minutes we'll sit and think that whether our problem is um, addressable or not. And if in that 5 minutes, you can take all the questions on how to, if you have any, you can take all those questions on the problem statement. If you feel that you're not able to completely understand the problem statement, feel free to ask those questions. Okay, that these are the can this be the drawback of this problem statement, or if I do this, then this is the problem. So you can take all the questions, and then once that is what that 5 minutes is done, don't drag it. Then that also create a negative impression. The next step is whatever you have thought in this 5 minutes, try to discuss. You don't have to write. Try to discuss your methodology of solving the problem in these 5 minutes. Next 5 minutes. Okay. This 5 minutes is for thinking. The next 5 minutes is for discussing. Because let's say why I'm saying this. Let's say you start directly writing code. In that case, you may not be always successful in writing code. You might be making some mistakes here and there. And while interviewing, you will be always under a pressure. So definitely you will lose somewhere. You will not able to cope up or not able to exactly write error-proof codes. Definitely. So those possibilities will be definitely there, right? So hence, um, it is very important that you discuss your methodology. Maybe your methodology will give you some score. You're not able to write the code effectively, but you have an idea, you have a plan. So that plan can help you to get some score. Right? So hence, it is always a best practice that you discuss the methodology, and so that your interviewer gets some confidence. Okay, yeah, this guy can solve this problem. And then after you can give a try in next 5 minutes in writing code. Now, just don't start saying at the beginning that can I Google, or can uh, I forgot the syntax, can I just check? No, that's not the way. Try to write of your own, and then you can ask the interviewer itself that can you help me with this function, even number function, which easily helps me to calculate the. Uh, I just forgot. It's not coming in my mind, but yeah, there was a function which helps to calculate the modulus, means the remainder is zero or not. Okay, the answer is modulus, right? So whether the remainder is zero or not, you can simply do this modulus and you can get the result, right? So definitely you can uh, get some help, and then the interviewer may ask you as well that okay, you can take help of Google if you forget the syntax, because interviewer is confident you have already explained the methodology. So interviewer is confident that you are not going to cheat on him by just googling the methodology, right? So hence you get an advantage here. Okay, you get an advantage by saying that I forgot the syntax, if you can allow me to Google it. That's particular syntax. Okay, and it is quite natural that you might forget, because there are so many things, so many functions. Even we forget many things. Need to Google out few of those syntax. Even while teaching as well, we sometimes Google out some of the syntax, and it is absolutely fine, because you may forget some of the function syntax. Okay, you may forget all of those, but yeah, it is fine. So this is how you can basically manage your stuff. Okay, so manage your each and every questions, technical questions. Okay. First, you take 5 minutes to think on it. Next 5 minutes to discuss the methodology, and the next 5 minutes. And each of these steps, if you follow, there is definitely an advantage stored for you. Because first 5 minutes, you are not explaining everything. You're not just explaining whatever is coming in your mind. Take time, think, and then give your answer. And this all gives you a very positive attitude as well. Okay, because it matters a lot. Just coming and speaking won't help until you speak meaningfully, right? So this 5 minutes of thinking is actually addressing that attitude, that you are just not coming and speaking shit. Okay, you are coming, first you are thinking on it, and if it is a solution, then only you are speaking, right? So that attitude is very, very important. Second, you are discussing the methodology to keep yourself safe, okay, to give that confidence on your solution. So that is what is your second point helping to do. The third point that you are doing is writing code, uh, which is, while you write code, you might take need and help on Google, which also shows that you are honest. Okay, you forgot a function, and because of the second point, you discuss the methodology, you get an advantage. Okay, the interviewer will not think that, okay, this guy is a genuine guy. Okay, he explained me the methodology, now he is trying to build a solution. You might forget, and this can be in a regular time while working in office. This can be the solution as well, right? So you will not, the Google is not blocked for you, right? Google will be there. You can Google and do it, right? So these three steps gives you a very positive attitude, and don't just ignore any of these steps and start doing it. Then you will stop getting some of those advantages. Okay. So that this is the crack jack. Okay. Sometimes, and for big organizations like Google, Amazon, okay, they are very firm to these methodologies. Okay, they typically don't bother about, um, if you have a solution, just directly if you give a solution, okay, just by googling it, they will catch you like anything. Okay, they will basically wait and watch how you are addressing that problem. Okay, how you are basically figuring out the solution, and then you are writing a code. Okay, when you are in an agreement and your interviewer, and you will also get a confident, right, on the methodology as well. Otherwise you will get puzzled. Okay, that this methodology will work or the other methodology will work, I don't know, just I'll keep puzzling myself, right? So hence, take time. First you think, don't get like don't feel that, okay, I'm not speaking anything, I'm not able to answer. No. Okay, every great people, they first listen, and they first wait and see what is happening, and then once they consume, they develop that thought, then they express what is their point of view. So you also have to behave like that. And it's not only about behavior, it's actually aiding your mind to write down the best logic, correct logic, because you are giving that room of space on thinking part. And then you are discussing the methodology. What happens? Two advantage. One is you are showing that this is my method. At the same time, you are getting it corrected with the interviewer. If you are making any mistake, interviewer will get catch up with. Okay, so this is where you are making a mistake. So let me rectify you. So the interviewer will actually tell you, okay, this is where you are making mistakes. You cannot do like that. So before you make any problem, you are ready with your solution, right? So that is what is your discussion helps. And then finally, while writing code, you are well confident about your methodology. You just need to think of Python functions and those things to write code, and finally you will basically write down the right. So this is how you will basically try to address each and every problem statement. Clear? Any question in these three steps? Do you have any questions?
Yeah, this is about interview, right? I wanted regarding project, like once we have a data set, how should okay.
As I said, first we'll discuss about the interview piece, and then Yes. So we are discussing about yes, data quality checks you need to perform, because you cannot just simply choose a set of features. You have to first determine which are the set of features that you are looking for, means which are the set of column names that you are looking for to create a feature, and which are the set of features you are not looking for. So you have to determine that, and then based upon that you can choose, or you can, means you can decide based upon that, right? So DQ checks are very, very important. Okay. And post DQ checks, you have to create your own set of features. Not always the features will be available to you. Okay. You have to create your own set of features. So let's say, for an example, last 6 months, how many times the customer has visited the store? You're solving some retail problem statement. Last 6 months, how many times the customer has visited the store? Okay. Last 6 months, what was his or her contribution? So those are the set of features that you need to get through, right? And once you start getting through those set of those those set of features, then it becomes very, very easy for you, as well as means these are called feature engineering, where you design your own set of feature, and then based upon that you basically build your model. Okay, so feature engineering is there, and post feature engineering, you basically go ahead and try to choose that which is the best fit model. In the meantime, you also have to do EDA as well. Now it depends. Sometimes you don't have a very luxury of a lot of time to do the EDA. Maybe you have to build this model in a week time. In that case, you can directly land into modeling, but it is not recommended. First, you do the EDA, exploratory data analysis, and then you go for doing the modeling piece and rest of that. In exploratory data analysis, all your questions, the best practice is list down all your question in your notebook. Okay, take a pen and paper, list down all the questions, that what all things you are trying to uh, list down all 10, 20, 30 questions, what all things you are trying to retrieve meaningfully from the data in respect to our problem statement uh, on that, in respect to our business problem statement. Okay, so let's say your problem statement, your business problem statement is increase the sales. Okay, so if you get a problem statement that please predict that what are the causal factors of increasing the sale, okay, or increasing the turnovers. So the first, there are many things that you have to look at. Okay, what are your turnover year on year? What are your revenue year on year? And if there is a revenue drop or leakage, in which region you are getting the revenue leakage? Okay, in which department, specifically in which department you are getting those leakage observed? Okay, so you have to boil down slowly at a department level, then at a brand level. Okay, so let's say your department is food item, okay, or snacks, or let's say cosmetics. In cosmetics there are different areas. Okay, shampoo is one of the area, soap is another area. Okay, then perfume is another area. Then these are the different areas. So within the soap, which particular area your sale has not been so highlighted, which area doesn't have a very high shelf life, because shelf is very costly, guys, right? Because shelf is associated with the physical asset. So hence it is very, very important to identify that which area, which particular brand has a higher shelf life, and what are the causal factors of getting that higher shelf life. Okay, why the shelf life is high. So those each and everything, just try to articulate in your brain by looking at the data post uh, uh, expanding all the set of features. Sometimes you may also keep generating new setup feature in order to do the EDA. Okay, maybe it is not relevant for model, but in order to do the EDA, you have generated a new set of features, right? So that's why it is very, very important to understand that how you are addressing the problem statement. And as I said, addressing a problem statement means first I understand based upon your business problem statement what are the questions that you can generate. Okay, simple questions. It's like you have a business, somebody is coming and asking you, tell me how can I increase my sales, and you cannot say that okay, increase the price in your advertisement, okay, increase the price on your showcase of the product, like doing a lot of uh, local branding and those stuffs. You cannot blindly say that. You need a supporting information. Okay. And maybe your sales are going good, but you're procuring a wrong product because of which your sales are not pitching up. Your procurement is wrong. Okay. You are choosing a product which has a very less demand. So definitely the uh, visit rate is much, much lower, right? So you need to identify those things. Okay. Based upon the information of sales, historic sales, try to understand what age category of people coming and visiting your store, right? If you have, let's say, um, you have the list of products, okay, and those list of products can be segmented and categorized based upon different age groups, different purpose. Like all the cooking items, they are mostly categorized as a cooking item, and they are mostly attracted by the females. Okay, then lot of infant or children materials, okay, like toys, okay, notebooks, pen, color pens, okay, sketch pens, and those things are part of your ch- children or the infant stuffs. So how many of those customers are coming and buying it? Okay, just by keeping that category may not always make sense, because you also need to understand that if that category you have created, but it is there in your shelf for past 1 year, making no sales or a negligible sales, is not going to impact your business at all, right? So hence it is very, very important to identify that which segment is important and which segment is giving you revenue, which segment you need to will actually eventually grow, okay, and bringing an innovation in that segment, bringing a new item in that segment might grow your entire business um, statistics. Okay, so hence it is very, very important that you understand. Just think that you are the owner of the business and you are trying to solve this problem. Then you will be able to completely get immersed with the questionnaires. Based upon your questionnaires, try to write down code and try to showcase that, okay, these are the things that I'm getting from these questions. These are my answers. And once you have your answers ready, the next piece is go back and simply uh, try to identify that what are the features that are actually um, trying to fit your problem statement effectively, or what are the features which are contributing to the problem statement effectively, and what are the features which are not contributing. So we'll be able to identify those very effectively. Okay. Now, once you are done with that, the next step is modeling. You also need to present this to your business stakeholders, right? And then on the other side, you will start building model. You need to choose which is the best fit model, okay, and which can basically solve your problem, keeping all the assumptions in mind. Okay, keeping all the assumptions in mind. Once we are done with this, modeling this, then we go for evaluation. And then hyper tuning, or retraining the entire model. And finally, once you have the results and everything, you make it ready for your prediction use. So this is how you have to basically address the given problem statement and choose a respective methodology to train a model, build a model, and then finally you can make use of that particular model in Reddit. Any questions? Any doubts?
No issue.
This part is pretty known part. What will be unknown for every problem statement is the above part. Feature engineering, EDA, DQ checks, data pre-processing. Those will be unknown, and those will keep on varying based upon every problem statement that you get. Okay. Any questions? Any doubts?
And from my side.
So whenever you are asked for any problem statement approach, simply DQ checks you cannot say immediately. How are you addressing based? Just listen the problem statement carefully, follow the above steps. Try to question yourself, generate 10-20 questions. Okay. And take those 10-20 questions and try to answer those.
So for every data set what we receive in the company, we should follow these steps, right? Like prediction
Yeah.
estimation and
Yes.
doing that explorative data analysis, supervised, unsupervised, and then going to
Yes.
the.
Yes.
Okay. So what exactly happens in these DB checks actually?
As I said, that if there is too much of null values,
Okay.
whether
Okay.
the data is aligned with your data or not. Okay. So aligned with your problem statement or not. Those are the things that is there in the DQ checks.
So when we discuss all these things with our business stakeholders, would they be giving any like modification in our thing, or like we have to proceed with the future modeling techniques basically?
No. there will be always a lot of recommendation, lot of refactoring corrections. It won't be
Okay.
very smooth every time
Smoother way, yeah.
because those who are a business expert, they might have a different viewpoint, and you as a data scientist trying to work on a problem from the data, you are taking some impression and then explaining. Okay, that always may not support your problems, the business problem statement, or it may also support. So we are always not sure, right? So there will be a lot of changes, alterations, and those things will be there. There will be a lot of recommendations as well. Because they are the business stakeholder, they understand the business more effectively than you. And sometimes you will not have a sufficient amount of data to arrive at a conclusion. You cannot predict because you don't have sufficient amount of data, a lot of missing value, null value, 90% null value. Okay. Even you cannot do the complete EDA. So you have to basically discuss with the stakeholders to understand what are the other way that we can get some data, get some story point around it. Okay. So this should be your approach in your interview process as well as in solving your project. The approaches are universal, so irrespective of anything, the approach is universal. The rest part left out is negotiation, acceptance of offer, and all, which is very personal, and which I hope you all can manage with your own experience, with your own need, with your own demands. Okay, which is something very subjective to you, right? So nothing is there, but yeah, if you have any questions, go ahead and ask related to anything, maybe interview, project, algorithm, data science, deep learning. Any questions?
None from my side.
Just to add few points uh, on your resume preparation. Okay, so resume preparation is again, sorry, it is simple. You just need to focus on what all the projects you have done, and the projects that you are doing or you have already done, you can mention that. And don't forget to uh, don't forget to explicitly mention the benefits that you got from that project. Let's say you're able to solve some revenue, or you are able to solve some reduction in man hours, you are able to increase the sales or the quantity, whatever is the benefit. Not always you may get the benefit in monetary terms, but you may also get the benefit in non-monetary terms, as I said. So hence you can explain a bit on that. So first 2-3 lines would be on your problem statement. Next is how you have solved it for a particular project. If you are writing explanation on a project, so the first point you should mention what problem statement you are trying to solve, how you solved, third directly what benefit you get in terms of man hours, in terms of dollars, whatever it is, just explicitly mention that. And once you mention that, that's it. That's it. And in this methodology, just write number of projects you have done. For every project, you need to explain these 3 P's. And definitely the duration and those things are definitely there, which is subjective to your. Okay, any questions? So resume piece also I covered. Almost everything is there covered.
No, no, not. If something arises, I will approach you. But right now, no questions.
Over to you, Kunal, if you have anything to discuss.
Okay, super.
We're done for the entire curriculum.
Yes.